When you think of German engineering, what comes to mind? Precision, performance, perfection? From luxury cars to world-class trains, the reputation is earned. But in the world of fighter jets, Germany's track record tells a very different story. Because for the past 50 years, Germany has co-developed or purchased fighter jets that are over budget, underperforming, delayed, or politically neutered. Time and again, German air power has been defined more by diplomatic compromise and industrial politics than battlefield dominance. This is the story of why Germany keeps building fighter jets that can't fight, or at least not the way they were supposed to. We start with the Tornado. The Panavia Tornado was a tri-national project developed in the 1970s by the UK, Germany, and Italy. It was a marvel of multinational cooperation, and a lesson in what happens when everyone wants different things from the same aircraft. Germany wanted a low-level strike fighter. Britain wanted a deep interdiction bomber. Italy wanted something versatile and affordable. The result was an aircraft that did many things decently but none exceptionally. The Tornado saw combat success with the UK, particularly during the Gulf War. Germany, on the other hand, restricted the aircraft's operational scope. Despite having over 300 in service at its peak, German Tornadoes were bound by political rules of engagement that often made them glorified flying billboards during NATO missions. By 2023, Germany had about 85 Tornado IDS and ECR variants still in service. The only aircraft in the Luftwaffe capable of deploying the US B-61 nuclear bombs stored in Germany as part of NATO's nuclear sharing agreement. These jets require increasingly frequent maintenance and suffer from chronic spare parts shortages. Mission availability dropped below 40%, and costs to sustain them continue to mount. Their planned retirement has been delayed repeatedly due to delays in procuring suitable replacements. Fast forward to the Eurofighter Typhoon. In the 1990s, Germany joined forces again with the UK, Italy, and Spain to develop a fourth-generation plus fighter. The goal? Create a European answer to the American F-15 and F-16. The Typhoon was sleek, fast, agile, but it came with baggage. Germany pushed for features it would later regret: a high emphasis on air-to-air combat and low priority on ground attack capabilities. Early German Typhoons lacked critical multi-role functions, including precision-guided munitions integration. While the UK and Italy upgraded their fleets, Germany stalled. In fact, it wasn't until 2018 that Germany approved funding for a multi-role upgrade, known as P3EB, Phase 3 Enhancements Block E. This included improvements to electronic warfare, target acquisition, and integration of the GBU-48 and Taurus cruise missile. But delays meant that Germany's Typhoons were functionally limited for years. By 2020, fewer than half of Germany's 140 Typhoons were combat-ready. A report by the German Defense Ministry noted that the Luftwaffe had only enough pilots to operate 40% of its fighter fleet, due to a combination of training shortfalls and aircraft unavailability. Then there's the FCAS program, the Future Combat Air System. Germany is co-developing FCAS with France and Spain. It's supposed to be Europe's sixth-generation fighter with stealth, AI, and drone swarming capabilities. The projected cost? Over 100 billion euros. But the cracks are already showing. French firm Dassault and German Airbus have clashed repeatedly over design control, intellectual property rights, and work share. Spain, the junior partner, has tried to mediate but often gets sidelined. In 2019, France and Germany signed an agreement for FCAS development, but it took until December 2022 to agree on basic program structure and funding. The demonstrator, initially promised for 2025, is now delayed until at least 2028. Realistic service entry? The 2040s, if not later. One major point of friction: Germany insists on equal work share despite contributing less to early-stage development than France. Dassault has resisted allowing German firms access to certain proprietary technologies, particularly in cockpit design and flight control systems. Meanwhile, Germany needs jets now. Its Tornado fleet is rapidly aging. Many of the airframes are over 40 years old. Maintenance is a nightmare. Availability rates have dropped below 40%. These jets still fly vital missions, including NATO nuclear sharing roles. Yes, Germany still hosts US nuclear bombs. In 2022, under pressure to modernize, Germany shocked its European partners by announcing plans to buy 35 American F-35s. These jets will replace the Tornado in the nuclear role. The price tag? Roughly €8.5 billion. That decision caused waves. France saw it as a betrayal. Why invest in FCAS if Germany is buying American? Why split industrial resources? But Berlin had little choice. The F-35 is the only fighter currently certified for NATO's B-61 nuclear bombs. FCAS won't be ready for decades. The Typhoon can't carry them. The Tornado is falling apart. So Germany pivoted. And that's the pattern. Germany talks about European defense autonomy, about sovereignty, about innovation, but when push comes to shove, it imports American gear or relies on compromised multinational designs. Even the Bundeswehr's readiness metrics tell the story. In 2021, less than 70% of its fighter fleet was flight ready. By comparison, the US Air Force maintains combat ready rates around 80 to 85%. The Euro Mail drone is another cautionary tale. A European medium altitude, long endurance UAV planned by Germany, France, Spain, and Italy. It has faced years of delays and budget disputes. The original delivery timeline of 2025 is now considered wildly optimistic, and France is reportedly already looking at alternative solutions. Germany's defense procurement bureaucracy is notoriously slow. Projects take years to be approved, and the average time between proposal and contract is more than 5 years. Once a project is greenlit, implementation suffers from staff shortages and interagency infighting. As a result, Germany has spent billions and fielded less. Post-war pacifism runs deep. German defense policy is shaped by coalition governments where defense spending is always controversial. Every procurement design is filtered through a moral lens that slows everything down. Industrial compromise means every big project must satisfy multiple firms, states, and stakeholders. The goal isn't always the best jet, it's the most politically survivable one. A strategic drift? Germany hasn't clearly defined its role in global security. Is it a regional power, a logistics hub, a diplomatic bridge? Its military posture shifts with each administration. Compare that to France. Paris has a coherent doctrine. It builds and exports the Rafale. It leads operations in Africa. It invests in nuclear deterrence and maintains carrier-based aviation. Germany, in contrast, has hesitated. It invests in big ideas but struggles to execute. Even the recent €100 billion Special Defense Fund, announced after Russia's invasion of Ukraine, has been slow to disperse. As of late 2023, only a fraction has been allocated. In October 2023, a report by the Bundestag's Audit Office noted that only €8.4 billion from the special fund had been committed to actual contracts. Of that, only $1.2 billion had been spent. The rest was tied up in procedural gridlock. The F-35 purchase is a rare act of decisiveness, but it underscores the broader issue. Germany keeps building or joining programs that sound good, but can't deliver what its military actually needs, when it needs it. So what's next? Germany will continue upgrading its Typhoons with new sensors and weapons. It will try to keep FCAS alive. It will receive its first F-35s by 2026. And it will keep trying to balance ambition with reality. But unless there's a shift, a true strategic doctrine, faster procurement, and a willingness to say no to bad compromises, Germany's fighter jet future will remain grounded in the same old problems. The jets will fly, but whether they can fight and win remains the unanswered question. Thanks for watching. What do you think? Should Germany invest more in independent capability or lean into NATO partnerships? And can Europe ever build a fighter jet without 20 years of delay and a €10 billion hangover? Hit like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments. More deep dives into global defense coming soon.